Greetings, geeks and nerds of my universe and my nerdy, and it's time for another YouTube subscriber poll time. As this one, like I said, ended off on a tie with another thing that we're going to talk about the next time around here, uh, which actually kind of makes me happy to talk about it. So, with the subscriber poll, the one that mostly came out on top was the Incredible Hulk series, and I get that probably people want me to talk about more Marvel things and DC things, except for the fact that I'm both a Marvel and DC fan, not really liking one over the other. It just comes in a happy coincidence, I suppose, that most of the things that I talk about on the channel mostly seem to come from the DC side of things, so apologies in advance. But today we're talking about Justice League Unlimited. This is the first 3 episodes, I believe, that we're going to be reviewing today. Initiation Day, Hawk and Dove, and Kid Stuff. So, why did people vote for this one? Probably for good reasons, is that Justice League Unlimited is very much nostalgic. Now, if you don't know anything about Justice League Unlimited, it's technically like the season 2 of Justice League, so to speak. Justice League, the animated series, was such a big success that it ended up having a spin-off series called Justice League Unlimited, which followed several other superheroes in the realm, including having an episode written by the great and talented and beautiful Gail Simone. If you guys want me to ever review more episodes of Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, just let me know. Or the series in general, I really want to own the box set at some point. So, anyways, why don't we go to Mount Olympus and join the gods that sit up upon there? Let's check out the first 3 episodes of Justice League Unlimited and see if it tickles your fancy, shall we? We begin at a Big Mart, where people are going around shopping and doing everything that people can do. It seems like a quiet and nice night. That is until it's infiltrated by a gang of mobsters or robbers that want to infiltrate the place, steal all the money that's inside, and they don't give a shit about anything else, truthfully. But hope comes in the form of the jolly green giant Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, who just happens to be stopping by and wants to stop the robbers from shooting up the place. But after a job well done, he ends up being also saved by the John Stewart Green Lantern, who wants to invite him upon joining the Justice League, but Ollie politely said no.
Grandstanding it. Glad you could make it.
I kind of like to imagine now that when the Justice League goes after superheroes to pick up to join their team and join their cause, if anybody dare say the word no, then then Superman or whoever just abducts you and takes you up into the Watchtower. Unless you're a superhero that can breathe within the space atmosphere, you're screwed sitting upon the Watchtower. So, I like to think that instead of initiating you into the Justice League, like watching out what you do and everything, they should go up to random people and go, your ass is coming with me, and you can't say no, because we gotta save the world after all, so you better not say no. By the by, I love this page of a bunch of different superheroes throughout the ages, like the Seven Soldiers of Victory, more of the Justice League members, and including JSA, and even some of the Outsiders and whatnot. It is really damn cool. Meanwhile, Superman is giving the entire team a speech about what they're going to be doing, and that they're going to be listening to Carl Lumbly, aka John John, the Martian Manhunter, about what their missions are. But Ollie feels like he doesn't belong, something that he ends up telling Batman. Yet, surprisingly, Batman understands why Ollie doesn't want to be a part of this really enlarged team. But enough of that plot point. What's the actual plot? Well, there's a radioactive invasion that's happening in basically Indochina, and so the team of the Justice League had to be sent to stop it. So our team consists of the John Stewart Green Lantern, Captain Atom, Supergirl, and Green Arrow. I see nothing wrong happening with this team. By the way, I love how Dan Berkowitz wrote these characters, because they don't get along at first, but they do end up in the ending, and it's kind of nice to see them not getting along. It's kind of cool. So what is the Justice League after? Basically a big atomic or nuclear-powered robot that might be a reference to Chemo. But their first plan doesn't work, ending up with John Stewart basically being wiped out by the giant Chemo-like being. So sorry, Johnny, you're done for. As finally the team gets their ass into gear and finally start to work together and actually become a team and taking down the large, basically atomic or nuclear powered robot. But after some good old fashioned teamwork, the robot ends up defeated, and the Justice League has saved the day. Well, mostly thanks to Supergirl for punching the damn robot's head off. Meanwhile, Ollie needs a nuclear shower. I love that when Kara talking to John Stewart, she wants to know if she done a great job, and at first he points out everything she did wrong.
Yourself or your teammates again by running off half-cocked without a battle plan. I will personally see to it that you are kicked out of the league. I don't care who your cousin is. And incidentally, you did good.
Meanwhile, we cut back over to Ollie, who's again talking with Betsy, as he tells Batman that thanks for everything and a radioactive shower, but he still doesn't feel like joining the team.
So, see you soon.
I cannot tell you how hard that made me laugh the first time that I saw it. Hinting at the relationship that would be seen in a later episode, like I said, written by the great and beautiful and talented Gail Simone, who wrote the episode Double Date, which basically had Green Arrow and Black Canary go on a double date with Question and Huntress. Never really seen the episode, truthfully. I don't remember or recall if I ever have, so might have to check that one out at some point. But I have to say, so far, Initiation Day is my favorite episode. It gets along some great plot points, including what would ever happen if you had a makeshift team that basically became the Justice League. Are they going to get along, or are they going to fight each other? And you can suggest the latter category. On to the second episode of this DVD, Hawk and Dove, which points out, basically, the legendary characters, Hawk and Dove. Okay, so Hawk and Dove were created during the 60s, in case people don't know. They were never really popular enough to hold their own book, always being cancelled or pushed aside, and they were never really popular enough as a superhero team. But they were popular enough to make a cameo, so let's see how that does. We open up to the God of the Forge, Hephaestus, working on a piece of metallic armor, or ancient armor, for one, the only God of War, Ares. After making the indestructible armor that Ares had wanted, including Ares almost getting his own ass kicked by the damn machine, he decides, yep, Hephaestus, I'm gonna take this. Meanwhile, some crooks are trying to rob a bank and just ruining the whole damn day, until they're stopped by Wonder Woman. Except this Wonder Woman doesn't give a shit because she's having a bad day.
But you had to pick today to rob a bank.
But before Diana can pummel the little guy into snot, probably shit his pants in the process, she's stopped by John Johns about what's been going on in a foreign country. Just remember, Wonder Woman is the fucking ambassador of peace. Let me repeat that. Wonder Woman is the ambassador of peace by this point, either in the comics or in Justice League in total. So seeing the ambassador of peace lay down a bastard for making a stupid decision and making her day worse than it already is, the guy better watch it back from now on. If he ever runs into Wonder Woman again, she's going to beat him into a pulp. But it's nice to know that basically even John Johns and Carl Lumbly point this out, that, their time on Earth has pretty much affected the way that they see things. They still think that what they have went through is probably a lot more either better or worse than what we have gone through, and that's not exactly wrong. I mean, Martian Manhunter did see his entire population destroyed by the White Martian race, and Wonder Woman still has to deal with the gods and goddesses upon Mount Olympus that always decide to fuck with her, so they don't really have an easy life, neither one of them. So, over to a sports bar, we happen to meet Hank and Don Hall, aka the aforementioned Hawk and Dove that I talked about earlier, who are getting into a bar fight. So, a bunch of people that are Hawk and Dove fans might be confused that it's Hank and Don Hall, but remember that Don was there long before the female Dove was ever introduced, so there's that. Also, I bet you'll never guess who voices Hawk in this episode. Take a wild guess because I'm going to use a clip that'll surprise you. That's right, Fred frickin' Savage voices Hawk. I'm not even making that up, as the two transform and get into a bar fight. As 1D shows up, not very happy to see Hawk and Dove kicking the shit out of criminals as she invites them along towards the secret mission at hand. So the team had to discuss how the world that they're going to beat an indestructible robot that is hell-bent on war and everything, especially since it was created by Ares, and they see no way of doing so. So Wonder Woman decides to go and visit Hephaestus, the god of the Forge, who's very creepy during this entire thing, especially with Diana.
Let that shoot out a little.
Hey!
Sorry, kid. You'll have a headache later.
I made that armor for your mother. Did she ever thank me? No. I love your mom, but she didn't have your build.
Shut up. Shut it up.
The gods of Olympus really want to fuck everything that moves. Like, seriously, I thought that Zeus was the creepiest one here. What the fuck, Hephaestus? So every plan has failed. Zeus is winning, and the Annihilator just cannot be stopped no matter what they do. Seemingly, it is unbeatable. And they tried using everything, but eventually Wonder Woman finds out it's caused and controlled by the rage, so they have to calm down in order to calm it down. As Dawn tried to get every side on the fighting force to shut the hell up and calm the fuck down, much to Hawk's irritation of his brother almost being killed.
Let go of it! He's weak! He'll get himself killed!
And so, the way of peace wins. Diana telling Ares to fuck off and stop causing trouble as he disappeared back into Olympus, but the two realizing that they will soon meet again. Which brings us into our last issue, Charlotte stuff, and we get to see Morgana Le Fay and her son Mordred going after a basically magical device that can only be touched by a child. Which, of course, Mordred ends up stealing the device, becoming more powerful than his own mother, and then basically conquering the world by getting rid of the adults. And we cut over to the Justice League, who seem to be battling out a few different foes, all except for Hawkgirl and Flash, who are not a part of this team, as they basically take out the weird foes that they're facing. And Morgana ends up pointing out, while they're all in a different dimension or whatever, that yes, Mordred is behind this, but they need to stop him, and she has one surefire way to do so. By turning the Justice League into children. This is the way that she decides to stop her son, with children. And by the by, you'll never guess who voices young Wonder Woman, or basically Wonder Girl. You will never guess in 1,000 years, even if I told you. Are you ready? Did you make your guess? Cue the clip now.
That's nice. Okay. So, can I go out? I think it's the perfect weather for gardening. No, Caroline, rain makes mud.
Also, it's kind of funny to see Mordred get these powers, but yet he's always bored with them and he doesn't know what to do with them. As the Justice League Jr. basically tries to attack. It's actually a pretty good and pretty damn decent fight scene with the Justice League basically coming out on top, and I'm pretty sure the toys are supposed to be a reference to the Atomic Knights, which is always awesome. But they're soon sent to the chambers where they meet Etrigan the baby? What? Etrigan's a baby too? Wait! Etrigan's a demon? With magical capabilities, was turned into a baby. Okay, I don't really know everything that there is to know about Etrigan, but I do know that Etrigan is bounded to a man named Jason Blood. But Etrigan is basically weak against magic. He's even weak against, not weak against magic. He can basically invulnerable to magic, and especially demon magic. Not too many things of the magic variety can hurt him, as pointed out in the great Justice League Dark animated movie, which I absolutely adore. And even pointed out in fucking Batman the Brave and the Bold that Etrigan cannot be really hurt by magical things. So if he was Jason Blood, then yeah, I suppose that he could be turned back into a baby. But because he was Etrigan during this, and Etrigan, I want to point this out, is a servant to Morgana Le Fay, more or less so, then he should not be turned into a baby. It's just confusing that suddenly he is basically a baby. When that reveal happened, I thought that we were going to see the Children's Justice League face off against a giant demon of interdimensional power, and be power beyond his granting you, but he's a baby, which shouldn't make sense because, again, Etrigan is just a demon, and he should be invulnerable to magic things and should not have Jason Blood basically be turned into a baby unless he was Jason Blood, but by this point he was Etrigan a demon.
At least ours was committed. It wasn't just a string of pussy jokes.
Get on with it.
Yes, get on with it!
So, yeah, Etrigan's a baby now. We're just going to accept it. The team basically don't have much of a hard time taking down the Etrigan baby, even though he shouldn't be a baby, but what the fuck do I know? I also love how the Justice League keep trying plan after plan after plan after plan, and every single one doesn't work. It just seems that Mordred is far too powerful. But that is until Batman tricks him. Not just the League, mostly Batman connives him and convinces him to turn into a man. And because Mordred is a fucking idiot, he turns himself into a man, thus meaning that he loses his magical abilities and he was beaten by Batman. That is so Batman. As Morgana thanks the Justice League for saving the day and turns them back into adults. As Batman wonders what will happen to Mordred, as Morgana tells him that they don't have to worry about him anymore because he still has his immortality and blah blah blah. So the world is all a happy end, right? Well, a happy ending as big as a happy ending as you can get, because we're going to end this with my favorite quote from Kevin Conroy.
It was kind of enjoyable to be a kid again.
I haven't been a kid since I was 8 years old.
And so that was my taking a look back at Justice League Unlimited, Saving the World, which I believe is the first 3 episodes of Justice League Unlimited. And it's still awesome. These are some great written episodes, fantastic animation, great voice acting all around, especially chosen by the great, the talented, and wonderful Andrea Romano, who does an amazing job shooting voice actors from anywhere, especially even ones that you were like, wait, who? And suddenly when you see them, it's like, oh my god, it's actually them. Oh, holy shit. Just like I did with Fred Savage voicing Hawk. I'm like, that is not Fred Savage until I listened to the voice more, and then I watched the movie starring him when he was a little bit older with the same deep voice, and I'm like, oh my god, that is definitely Fred Savage. Holy shit. And just especially Dakota Fanning, I'm like, I know that voice. And then when I heard it more, I'm like, that's Dakota Fanning. Holy crap. So, would I recommend Justice League Unlimited for you guys or for your kids that love superheroes? Duh! It is an amazing, wonderful, fantastic series that anybody should check out, and I do want to own both box sets of Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, or there's one really big pack to happen. But anyways, I would recommend checking out Justice League Unlimited. It is such an amazing, awesome cartoon, and you will not be disappointed by how damn good it is. So, it gives my thumbs up and recommendation to all my Lazy Universe sites out there. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below. I've been Lazy Universe. I've been letting nerdy keep eking on. And please check out Justice League Unlimited if you can, or Justice League the animated series, because both are so damn good. And I do want to review them at some point. And since we were talking about Phil Lamar, I really do want to review Static Shock at some point too. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below. I've been Lazy Universe. I've been letting nerdy keep eking on. And until next time, and as always, take care. But next time, speaking of which, I think that we're going to go back to the 60s, because we're going to have a double dose of Wham, Pow, Kabooey, because we're going to go back to the 60s to hang out with the Dynamic Duo, but not in live action, but for their animated debut films that happened for the 50-year anniversary.